Hello to those watching the second half of the doubleheader on YouTube. For those live, thank you for your patience as we sat through that break. We are now facing off against the Spurs for the second game this evening. We're up to March 22nd, 1996. Yes, I needed to give it a break. The game, I tried to give it a little bit of one, but the game last night was difficult with my rudimentary editing tools. So we just had an exciting outing. Muggsy Bogues scored 100 points, exactly, despite being injured for part of the quarter. Now it is Damon Stoudemire's turn. Now the last time we tried to score 100 with Stoudemire, we ended up not scoring 100 and also losing the game. So we've learned from that. We are smarter now, and we know when to throw in the towel and how to make sure that we actually are getting the ball through. Stoudemire, Davis, Murray, Jones, and Wright. And before we dive in, 10% of anything I make tonight goes to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. They're doing great work, great research. Check them out. You can support them directly if you'd like. Take a quick look at the standings here as well. For their Midwest Division, San Antonio below 500, although they're in third place in the division. So it looks like they probably will be a low seed in the playoffs, depending on how the rest of the season shakes out. League leaders, Ellis slipping a little with everybody else scoring, but still well ahead of the rest of the field in terms of points per game. David Robinson in fourth place, facing tonight. Minutes per game, we'd only play 32 minutes per game, so none of us. So Murray, Murdoch, Ellis, Pinckney, Miller, all on the leaderboard field goal percent. Free throw percentage, Hubert Davis at Pinckney. 3-point, Ellis and Murray topping it off. There's Curry from Charlotte. Saw last night, shooting very well. No one on rebounds, no surprise. Stoudemire still clinging to the block leaderboard. Up there in steals, as are Murdoch and Ellis. Assists, Bogues has fallen off of that. All right, let's get started. Whoa, I planned that poorly. It's all that Taco Bell and ice cream. Wiped me out. It just occurred to me, I wonder if anybody has, since I'm going to be hacking my Genesis Mini to overclock it anyway, I wonder if anybody has a second channel skinned for it. That would be fun. Did you have the second channel back in the day? It's the greatest. No, I did. It was fun. Your parents only begrudgingly allowed video games. Yeah. I hear you. We actually, as a result of all of this lockdown stuff that's happening, we have yesterday lifted the moratorium on child video games in this house that we had to put in. They just were not handling it well. So there have been no video games here for A year? Almost a full year. But they've also been doing better. We told them that they could still, if we were visiting someone, we could try it. And the last few times they've handled them better. Your mom's constant argument was, don't you already have a game? Why do you need a new one? Repeat that with new consoles. Yeah, kids are getting older. Well, my older ones are getting, I suppose they're all getting older, but my second oldest is still not to the age that my oldest was during the big freak out. The end of it was a Minecraft session that just went absolutely to a very dark place. It just ruined the entire, it was otherwise a good day, and it just, things went poorly because of poor control design in Minecraft, and I don't know, things just went downhill from there. So we took a break, and I'd often described it to people as, okay, so when we stopped playing them, it was like in The Wizard of Oz when she opens the door and everything's in color and people are dancing around and singing. So we'll see. They are aware that they need to be able to handle it, or they'll lose the privileges again. Yeah, I was really surprised when I first played Minecraft, because I kept hearing, oh, it's great for kids, and whatnot. But yeah, and maybe it would have been better in creative mode, I guess. But my kids insisted on playing in survival mode, despite my urging otherwise. Partially because they liked the mining aspect. I don't entirely blame them. Like in creative mode, there's no resource scarcity. So then all you're doing is building. But it's also a little bit violent, too, and a little dark in places. I was surprised. And it's ugly. Like, if I had just picked up Minecraft and tried it and someone asked me if it was good for kids, I would say I can't imagine kids even getting into this. But yeah, it was not really what I expected it to be. Nope. This is one thing I learned from last time is do not let the bad lineups run. It's like the stock market. Gotta let your winners run and cut your losses. That being said, I know a lot of people who have kids, my kids' age, who got really into Minecraft and handled it well and all of that. Just wasn't a good fit for us. But it wasn't exclusively Minecraft. That was the nail in the coffin. I mean, we had similar issues with Mario Kart. Yeah, there were. Damon. It has crossed my mind that Damon Stoudemire is just not meant to score 100 points in a game. We shall see. We're already on our fourth lineup. Stoudemire, Respert, Murray, and Miller. All right, there it is. Now we're cooking. When David Robinson doesn't even try to block your shot, you know you found your lineup. Great steal. There we go. This lineup's at least good for scoring points, although we don't seem to be cutting the deficit much. That's okay. As long as we're putting the ball in the basket quickly. We can recover from the rest later. Del Negro. To a degree, I mean, we kind of talked about this last night, but when you said that your mom was thinking, don't you already have a game? Why do you need another game? She's got a point. I never, come on. It wasn't that much over the line. Like, as a kid, I certainly would have argued that till I was blue in the face. And even now, my collection certainly doesn't look like that. But there's a fine line somewhere if you're not going to be a collector, I suppose. Because I don't really think of myself as a game collector. I don't want to have things that I'm not interested in playing in a while. Oh, fair enough. Guess it's still a point of contention. Whoa. But I don't know, because I was thinking, like, so in terms of basketball games, like, do I really need so many games around? Like, how many basketball games do I actually need? If I'm in the mood to play a basketball game, maybe I just need the best basketball game. But then it's like, okay, well, what about arcade versus sim? That makes sense. What about NBA Jam versus NBA Street? Those are both arcade, but they're very different. In field, do I need both of them? I mean, you know, for a given value of need, right? I don't need any. Let's be real. But I don't know. And then, like, is baseball different, or are both of them, like, is sim baseball scratching the same mental itch as sim basketball? Like, I am playing a professional sports simulation, where I am being a professional athlete and trying to win a championship and an MVP award and whatever else. Those kinds of specific questions would have been fair, but when they say you just got a game for Christmas and it's July, that doesn't hold much water. Well, fair enough. I don't know, what do you think? Do you like that lineup? Or should we switch it up? Go fishing for a new one. Change it up. It wasn't until you got the Dreamcast and had your own money that you could build a decent library. Well, you do. I mean, you have, I've said this to you before, you have one of the most interesting, one of my favorite game collections of anyone I've ever seen. Because it's very clear that it's all stuff that you like. Which is nice. Like, there's not like a theme, it's not games. You don't have games just because you feel like you should have them, or avoid games because they're not universally liked. Like, it feels like someone who enjoys playing the games that he has when I look at your stuff. Alright, let's try. So what lineup was in there? We'll try giving Hubert Davis another chance. Davis, Ellis, Jones, and Brett. At least we know we have one lineup that works pretty well. Oh, we got the whistle. That's good. If they had gotten the whistle, I would have taken these guys right out. Whistle in their favor, that is. Nice stuff. All right. We're back in this ball game. Nice. Ellis. We have taken the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Can say that you got your value out of your Dreamcast games. Didn't get games too often, but often enough that you could build a good library. But seldom enough that you had to be judicious with your purchases to get money. Yeah, that's a sweet spot right there. I mean, that is a problem of adulthood, right? I mean, it's honestly why I've had to get away from PC gaming more than anything else. I mean, for years I had kind of described it to people as I don't like PC gaming because I don't want to, I always am too tempted to multitask because I'm just an alt-tab away from doing something productive or, some other hobby that is computer related. But I really don't think that's actually what it is. I think it's just that there's too much there. I mean, there were, for the Super Nintendo, there were something like 1,000 games for it worldwide, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe 1,200, 1,600, I don't know. Doesn't matter. But the point is, it's a finite list, and it's over. And most of those games are no good at all, not even really worth considering today. I mean, not to disparage the work people put into them, but, it is what it is. A lot of them were annual things like this. There were 4 NBA Live games released for the Super Nintendo, and they weren't that different. Things like that. But with Steam, it's just a black hole. And not just Steam. I mean, there's also, GOG, and then there's the independent releases. There's free-to-play browser stuff, plus all the emulation. And like you're saying, you can get too many games too cheap. And like you, I want to be judicious and, get my money's worth. But I also tend to be exacting. And it's a character flaw of mine. I mean, you probably have noticed it given the, plus minus spreadsheet. I want to optimize everything. I don't just want to play an off-road vehicular combat racing game. I want to play the best off-road vehicular combat racing game. And on a console, there might be, 3 or 4 choices. On a PC, there's dozens for any genre. And they all have their defenders, and it's hard to sift out. And they're all $3 if they're on sale. Whereas sometimes it's like, this game is really good, but it costs $300, and I'm not willing to pay $300 for a game I'm not going to play that often. All right. This lineup's falling apart. You don't regret Panzer Dragoon. Panzer Dragoon Saga. Man. More power to you. I can, I mean, that's like what? Like a $700 game? But then again, I've given serious thought to buying a pinball machine. So what do I know? At least Panzer Dragoon Saga probably works when you turn it on. $600, but the only Vanity purchase you'll ever make. You know, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you didn't take food off your kid's plate to get it. Exactly. I mean, no judgment. I hope you didn't think that meant I was being judgmental about it. It's just, for me, I can't see myself wanting to spend that much money on one game. I think if I was going to spend $600 on video gaming, I would get a really nice force feedback wheel and a really nice set of DDR pads. Like, I'm more interested in the expensive peripherals than the games. Like, take the games I have, make the experience better. This lineup is working out swimmingly. I think this is our biggest lead of the game. Oh no! Out of bounds. Nice. Feel like I had no confidence in my own shot. Jumped to get the rebound. Didn't think it was going in from 4 feet away. What you're waiting for is a reliable HDMI cord. Oh! I can't believe that. Unreal. Short jumpers are unreliable. So are the refs, I guess. My goodness. Gonna have to call the cops about that one. A reliable HDMI cord for the Saturn that will allow you to use its native RGB SCART signal without getting it from Europe and then a converter to HDMI. Have you checked Retro RGB? Nothing like that exists. I'm not even sure if short jumpers are unreliable in this game or just at this difficulty level. Yeah. RetroRGB.com is your friend for that. They will have whatever the best way to get a display on a modern TV for a Saturn and every other console. Avery Johnson leading the Spurs. Stoudemire closing in on a double-double already at the half. They're still out shooting us. They're out rebounding us, but that's no surprise. They're not missing nearly as many shots as we are. Who is the Hawks' all-time leading scorer, and what is his nickname? I'm going to go with Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist. Maybe Spitz the Great. Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder? No, they're not the Hawks' leading scorers. They're my patrons, and I want to say thanks. They're the ones who make this possible. And speaking of making things possible, the Retina Foundation of the Southwest is trying to make vision possible for those who can't see. Envisioning a world without goggles. Check them out. My real answer to the trivia question is Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight. What I'm going with. We'll let this lineup go. Yeah, I usually just do whatever Retro RGB says. It's a weird sort of block shot. Didn't seem to do much. Nice. No! Oh, yes! Yeah, that was an emotional roller coaster of a play right there. I was coming at the basket at a weird angle. No call, thank you. Okay, this lineup has run out of steam. And will be sitting down. Need to dig deeper. Back to the spreadsheet. Stoudemire, Restford, Ellis, Jones, and Miller. Why is it so hard to find lineups where Stoudemire can score? All of these lineups did well when Stoudemire was not the one scoring. Oh! David Robinson. The Admiral. Just not great in this game. You take that back, Spitz the Greatest. Have been wearing his jersey up to this point. Nope. Oh, they didn't refresh the timeouts at halftime? Man. Brutal. Almost out. Okay, next we'll try Stoudemire, Davis. Ellis can stay, Jones can stay, and the other Davis. Got a good feeling about this one. Let's see. See if it's justified. There we go. It's a nice move as well. And you can go out to Dortmunder. Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder, patron at our Buy a Bucket tier. Thank you for your support. At least we showed up for defense, too. Last one. Ha. I like how they'll still let us try to call timeout and get a technical. That's some commitment to realism right there. All right. Stoudemire, Respert. Ellis, Pinckney. Davis. All sorts of firsts tonight. First injury in the first game. Muggsy Bogues going down. First time we've used all our timeouts. I was about to say it seems worth it. Lane's wide open. Did I say Retrobit? I said Retro RGB. Although I might have brought up Retrobit. They're the ones who make the 6-button controllers for the Genesis Mini. Why? Just for clarity. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the one lineup that was working well in the first half. Respert, Murray, Jones, and Miller. More steps than you're willing to deal with. Fair enough. Nice. All right. Now I'm glad I missed it. Field goal percentage notwithstanding. Shooting over David Robinson's a good sign. Not only do you need an RGB cable, but it needs to be European because the Japanese cable won't work, but is identical. Then you need to get a converter to change the signal to HDMI, and then of course an HDMI cable if you want it all in one. Yeah, that's fair enough. Oh, man. Damon. Just that 14 more times. That's all. It'll be better than composite, and besides, these games are ugly. You know, that is fair. I have an HDMI modded N64. And when I first got it back, I plugged it in and I tweaked all the settings and whatnot, played around with it. And I was initially disappointed with it. I was playing Mario 64 and I thought, you know, this doesn't look that great. And then I went back to composite and I was like, wow, okay, the HDMI is a massive improvement, but it still doesn't look that great. That generation is, in my opinion, the graphics have aged the worst of any, like even worse than like Atari. That's fair. Some of these retro sites almost take pride in obtuse solutions for tech issues. Look at the convoluted method we figured out to get around tech issues, and they criticize simple solutions. That is one thing about gaming enthusiasts that I found. Like, people will talk about, like, I've heard a lot of people describe N64 emulation as perfect and whatnot, and it is perfect if the only thing you want to play is Ocarina of Time. But N64 emulation is still a mess. PS2 emulation is a mess. Like, everything before 5th gen is pretty solid at this point. But, you know, there's a reason that we haven't seen an N64 classic. I guess PS1 emulation is pretty good. Whoa! The Admiral coming into dock. There it is. Getting all the layups. Nice! Doc Rivers with the charge. We take the lead yet again. Nice and close game, this one. Whoa! Timeout! So this one guy you watch on YouTube, he blasted the cheap VGA cables for the Dreamcast. He only recommends what amounts to a $200 solution that only works when the converter is in stock. The converter is built by hand by some guy in his garage when he has time. Or you can pay $10 and get 80% of the picture quality and have it right now. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the other thing to keep in mind with a lot of this stuff too, and I don't know who you're talking about on YouTube, so this might be completely unfair. I'm not accusing any individual person of this, but there is a lot of affiliate link stuff going on there, and if they can drive up commission and sponsorship on the higher ticket items, you know, that benefits them as well. Dominique Wilkins, human highlight film. 10 of his first 11 seasons as team in scoring. It's pretty good. You think that was becoming an issue? Yeah. Does happen. It is very difficult to figure out who to trust. We went from an enthusiast to a pitchman. Yeah, that's terrible when people just pitch things. By the way, 10% of anything I make tonight goes to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. I think it's an occupational hazard, unfortunately. And I don't even know if people realize that they're doing it. Honestly, I think it would be hard for me. Obviously, I am not remotely successful enough to have sponsors. But if I was, like, I don't know. I've never been in a situation where, like, I don't know, like, let's say EA sent me NBA Live 21 to review. You know, like, would I be able to give a truly unbiased opinion about it? I'd like to think yes, and I would try to do it, but, you know, I would want them to keep sending me things, and I would want to like it. So I think I would be influenced at the very least. Hard not to be. If I wasn't, that would just make me a robot, and nobody would want my opinion about anything anyway. Nope. That was a bad idea. Other than, it lets me get this lineup out of here. States, actually. I'm going to put in right. tech was cool. It wasn't a bad solution, but it was the attitude of cheap is bad. Yeah, that's fair. And the other thing too is like, you don't have to have world class in everything. I think that's actually a broader problem than video games. I think that's a problem in general. I mean, that's the dark side of that Mario World story I was telling on the first stream. We were talking about stream running. Stream running. Speed running during the first game tonight. And I was saying that before I knew speed running was a thing, I used to try to beat my own personal record in Super Mario World when I was younger, like in college. And I think I got it down to around 20 minutes. I don't remember exactly, which I thought was a pretty good time. And then when I first encountered speedrunners on the internet, I realized that is not a pretty good time. That is actually a pretty bad time. But you know what? Like, if the internet wasn't around, I would have just been happy. And it would have been fine. I wouldn't have been comparing myself with anybody. Did you see that warping there? I need a dead ball so I can take these guys out. The defenders are like glued to me. There it is. Right around Will Perdue. Unless you were willing to go all the way and pay any price, then you were dumb. Yeah. It's a very exclusive attitude. Been typing too much. We have a game here. We do. I need a dead ball. I'm out of timeouts, but these lineups are not working for me. But we're also, I believe all of the points are Damon's, so he only needs a handful more shots, and then we can start shooting threes again. I can't give up now. We're 7 points away. Dude, I've been out of... Yeah, what I've learned tonight is that they don't reset timeouts at the half. They only give you 7 for the game. And I have used them all. We are in trouble. I mean, I got fouls. I can always hit them if I need to. There we go. I've had to resort to mid-range jumpers because the lane is... they've got the super defense cheat enabled. Whenever I go into the lane, it's like Yar's revenge down there. Case in point. That one actually wasn't too bad. That was a stupid mistake on my part. It's one of the ones, I'm sure you've noticed it, where the defenders are just like magnetically attracted to me. Nope. Just shoot it. All right. 2 more shots. Ah, that pass went off me. Them. All right. 1 more. We're only down 3. This is doable. We can get him to 100 and win. And then never speak of this again. There it is. That one goes out to Tim Croy, humanitarian and philanthropist. Thank you, Mr. Croy. Patron at our Buy a Bucket tier. Now we need a 3-point shooter. I can work with Respert. No. Oof. What we really want... Where is it? What are you doing down there, Dale? Scoring 2 points, that's all. Nail biter tonight. There you go. Respirate. Oh, no. Great defense. Just not as great offense. There it is. Respirate again for 3. Oh. Nice. All right. I'm going to try a different lineup as well. Gonna go back to our starters. Are we? No, let's just try a different lineup altogether. Stoudemire can sit down. He's got us 101. He's exhausted. Let's see what we can do with just people who haven't played yet. Eric Murdoch hasn't really gotten minutes other than those technical free throws. We'll put him in. Miller's gonna sit. We'll go with McNee. And how's Murray doing? Better than Dale. We'll keep Dale though. And we'll go with Davis. Stepped away. That's all right. You don't have to apologize. We are down by 2 with 3 minutes to go. Have ourselves a game. Now player locked on Ellis. Trying a new lineup. That's not off to a good start. That is, though. I'll take an easy 2. This lineup's not working. Can tell already. Maybe we'll see if Murray clicks with him. This is the most lineups we have run in a single game in a very, very, very long time. Maybe the whole season. Oh no, get it back. Oof. This could be what you want. What do you want, Smith the Greatest? Oh. There it is. Now we've got him. That was not Ellis. That was Murray. Ellis was bricking his 3-point shots, actually. So we put Murray in. There you go, Murdoch. Nicely done. That's for you, Spitz the Greatest. Leading to a timeout. No, we got this. We're up 3 now. Rule of thumb in basketball is if your lead is bigger than the number of minutes remaining, you're going to win. We're now up by 6 with 1.5 minutes. You can tell the Rogers Center is already emptying out. People are heading for the parking lot. Or maybe that's just social distancing. I don't know. No. What are you talking about? Murray's not streaky. You're streaky. Your Saturn composite out is streaky. More timeouts. I like how late in the season the AI has just figured out how to call timeout to take it from half court. Yeah, because I mean, is it? Am I forgetting? Like, is it? Because I don't remember seeing that before. Like, I don't remember them calling timeout and... Well, no, it's not because the game is close, because remember, the Nuggets did it last night, and they were down, like, 80. But I don't even... Before the Nuggets game, I don't ever remember the AI calling timeout. I don't remember the AI calling timeout without making a substitution. So that's it. Eked out a double-digit victory. Got Stoudemire his 100 points. Super close game. And that's that. Two. There it is. Damon Stoudemire, 101 points, 13 rebounds. They still outshot us from the field, percentage-wise. We just took a lot more. That was a wild game. Both games, really. It is a testament. I mean, you know, as much as we rag on this game for the obvious dated stuff, like, I got a lot of respect for this game. It's a lot deeper than I gave it credit for. I was worried about being bored by this point in the season, but every game really is different. And we've played the Spurs and the Hornets before. I mean, we played the Hornets, like, last week. This week? I don't know. I'm losing track of time. My kids asked me what day it was, like what day of the week it was today. At various times. Wow. And I had a hard time answering the question. It's like, I don't know, Wednesday? Something. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's incredible too. Like, I don't know if you've spent much time with basketball games of the era, but like, if you compare this to the early EA basketball games, like I think the first one on the Super Nintendo was Bulls versus Blazers, maybe, which was like 4 years before this. It's like, it's night and day. Like, it honestly feels like a generational leap. Let's see. So first quarter. Wow, did we shoot? Exact same field goal percentage, first and second quarter. Weird. Third a little better, fourth a little worse. All right, works out. Murray did a nice job. Stoudemire, of course, the bulk of our shooting. Rustburn had an off night. Happens. I guess Alice only bricked the one. I said he was breaking his shots. I guess he bricked shot. You know, this makes sense considering things, but you found a promising HDMI cable and Amazon is telling you delivery will be May 4th. I think that companies like that are hedging at this point, because I ordered my Genesis Mini on Friday when it was on sale. They said it was going to be delivered Monday. On Monday, I got an email saying that it was going to be delayed until the end of April. And then Tuesday morning, I got an email from UPS saying it was out for delivery. And then Best Buy adjusted it from April 22nd to whatever day of the week yesterday was. So I think, honestly, they're just trying not to run afoul of, like, they're just trying to manage expectations. So you could probably do that and be pleasantly surprised getting it earlier. But anyway, that is our stream for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. So on Monday will be our next stream, probably. If I end up being available, maybe we'll do a surprise one some other night, because like I was just saying, every day is kind of more the same than it used to be. The next time we get together, will be taking on the Chicago Bulls, Central Division rivals, the only other Central Division team to clinch a playoff spot so far, and the Atlanta Hawks. We just had a trivia question about them. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope that you have a good night, and good luck. Stay safe. Stay sane. If there's anything I can do, reach out.